had hundreds of percent of growth pretty much every year leading up to this. I had an employee last year who I trained from scratch. I taught him HVAC from zero, and something happened at his house where he could no longer perform the HVAC duties, unfortunately.
That's too bad.
So that was kind of a hit last year.
This episode is brought to you by 10X Nerds. If you're a business owner doing real revenue, there's a good chance you're overpaying in areas you haven't even looked at. Things like credit card processing, insurance, telecom, and more. 10X Nerds comes in, audits your expenses across 30 plus categories, and finds immediate savings. And here's the kicker. They only get paid if they save you money. It's a complete no-brainer. If you want to keep more of what you make, go check them out at 10xnerds.com. This episode is brought to you by Rakowski Law Firm. If you're a business owner or have built a level of wealth, but you don't have your estate plan dialed in, you're exposed. Rakowski Law Firm helps families and business owners protect their assets, avoid probate, and make sure everything transfers exactly how it should. This isn't just paperwork, it's a real strategy to protect your legacy. If you haven't looked at your plan in a while or don't have one, go to rakowskilawfirm.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Builder's Bible podcast. Today, we're going to be covering a lot of key topics, the challenges, the pain points, growth, expansion, and many more. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, Brandon, thanks for hopping on a call. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, appreciate you having me, man. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So you're in the Cincinnati area. How long you guys been, had you get into HVAC? How long been doing Icon for? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, like most people, wasn't growing up like, I want to work on furnaces and air conditioners when I get older. I was going to school at Miami University up here in Oxford.
Okay.
And,
Miami of Ohio.
Yes, that's right.
To be clear.
And working at an HVAC company at night, and just didn't know anything about HVAC. I was just working in the office as a nighttime job to work around my school schedule. And, told them I was going to quit. And they said, have you ever thought about going in the field? I said, no, not really. Well, they're like, you can make X amount of dollars right now. I said, well, I'm going to school for another year and a half to hopefully get a job, to hopefully make that kind of money in a year and a half. And they're like, you're saying I can just do it now? They said, yeah, you can just do it now. So I did it now. Instead of taking my finals, I went and got my HVAC certifications that same week. And that was, 15 years ago at this point.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so kind of learned through the big companies. I'm super grateful for the opportunity I, was allotted at that time, and it changed my life. Fast forward, a couple years later, and decided that there was I don't want to say a better way, but there was a different way of going about it. And I wanted to try my hand at that. And that's when Icon was born. And we've been kind of steadily growing ever since, trying to, make our mark in a pretty heavily competitive industry, and, try to be different and excel in that area.
Sure. If you don't mind me asking, what were you going to school for?
I was going to school for marketing. I wanted to do. So when I was a kid, I really wanted to make commercials. Is what I wanted to do. I remember watching like the Super Bowl commercials, and I thought that was a cool thing. And that's kind of what I wanted to do, and then ended up not doing that, obviously. But there's still time to make some Icon commercials.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, maybe on another call or after this, I'll talk to you. I pitched Front Office Sports the other day. I don't know if you know who they are, for another sports media outlet like Barstool Sports.
Oh, sweet, very cool. I know Barstool.
Oh yeah. So similar, but anyways, that's for another call.
Yeah, very cool, very cool.
But yeah, that's great. So you've been doing this for 15 years now? Yeah,
man.
Wow. I can't believe you look really young. So I never would have guessed that.
Well, I appreciate, if the camera had a little more focus, you'd see the gray in there, man. It's it's
Nice.
Definitely puts some years on you.
So how long has you been, I'm sorry I missed it. But how long have you been running Icon for?
So I got my LLC in actually 2017.
Okay.
Started out, this may be important for people who are starting out. So I started out as a company called BWB HVAC, which is just my initials with HVAC because it rhymed. I like alliteration. And I would call people at the supply houses to order stuff, and I would have to say, Bravo Whiskey, Bravo HVAC. I was like, if it's this hard for people who know me to remember the name, how hard is it for customers who don't know me to remember that name?
Yeah.
And it was a mouthful. Fast forward again, 2020. end of 2020, I rebranded to Icon, and it has basically taken off since then.
Wow.
And went full time for myself, March of 21.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Wow. Good for you. And Icon's
thank
definitely
you.
a lot easier to say and remember versus, you know,
Yeah,
maybe
it,
HVAC.
yeah. See, I just told you, and you can barely say
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Point proven. So yeah, the initials heating and cooling, or the initials HVAC. Just save yourself the trouble if you're just starting out, and just make a memorable brand from the start.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm all about that, frictionless path for the customers, whether it's, buying a product, remembering a name, or, whatever. So,
That's right.
but yeah, I get it. Nice. Well,
Yeah.
talk a little bit. So you've been doing this for, quite some time, with Icon, under the Icon branding, formerly BWB. Tell me a little bit, some of the, I guess, the hardships you guys gone through, the pain points, that's
Well, as
learned over the years.
Yeah, so first off, it was the name. I mean, that the branding thing changed everything.
Yeah.
Like I said, it really took off after that. But really, just navigating the business side of it. When you're working at a company and everything's organized and everything's kind of, all the back end stuff is kind of done for you. You don't really realize all the things that really go into making a functioning, endeavor here. And I thought I'd have a lot more time to learn those things. Because like anybody who starts out on their own, they're working for a company, and you're like, oh, I'm really good at this. I could definitely start my own company. It's like, yeah, well, I'm good at this. I can start my own company. I'll just learn all the other stuff as I go. But I needed to learn that a lot quicker than I thought, especially with how quickly we started growing when I changed the brand.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a hardship. And thankfully I have a lot of people who are a lot smarter than me at the things that I think are boring to handle those things for me, and really kind of guide me and walk me through that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. When you start your own business, you're literally jumping into the fire, jumping to the deep end head first. Unfortunately, there's like no schooling on that
No.
really officially, because every business is different, every industry, every trade is different. I mean, you kind of have kind of the same core concepts, but when it comes to running a business, it's like, this is not going to fit over here, but it fits over here, that type of stuff. So culture's different. So yeah, all the above. And so you definitely have to adapt and learn fast.
Yeah. A lot quicker than you would think, especially if you are doing a good job and growing. It's the conversations that I'm having now, just a few short years in, um, are no, like I thought this was like a 10-year conversation, and it's, year 1, year 2, year 3 that some of the stuff is coming up, and I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Like I said, thankfully I have people who are a lot smarter than me at that stuff, and can kind of walk me through it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You have mentors or someone you can lean on, that too. Plus, like, we're pretty much the age of information. So if you need to, figure something out, you just hop on, Google or,
Yeah.
be like, hey, here's my question. What do you guys think? Or what do you think?
Yep.
So, I mean, I do it all the time too. But yeah. So, I mean, I know we talked about a little bit about this prior to our call, but what makes you guys unique? What makes you guys stand out? I know you told me, but love for everybody else to hear.
Yeah, so we are the experts on the high-end, high-performance HVAC. So we are doing, uh, it's more surprising when we do a basic system install than it is if we do a, true, fully communicating inverter system. So that's kind of our bread and butter. Like, we know the ins and outs of the inverter technology,
Great.
where most companies, if you get a good, better, best in our area, still don't even offer those to the homeowners, for whatever reason. I mean, yeah, they can be intimidating if you kind of look at them. So I understand that from like an old head perspective, right? They're used to seeing a contactor and a capacitor and, and a couple wires, and that being it, where these are, giant circuit boards, and they can be intimidating if you don't know what you're looking at. But it is the future. In a couple of years, they're not going to have an option. But we've been around it for years. I've had it in my own home for 10 years. And that's kind of really what sets us apart. Aside from our customer experience, we don't use any high pressure sales tactics. We are education first. We want the homeowners to be fully educated on the entire job from start to finish, as far as what they're getting into, what the different options are. We want them to make the absolute best decision possible for them and their family. Yes, a lot of times it does end up being that inverter, but it's because of the way that we present it and the way that we educate it. Or we educate our homeowners in the home. And that's why we don't have any cancellations. I haven't had a single cancellation on an install since we started this. And I attribute that to our, our education first, homeowner's best interest type of approach.
Sure. How are you guys going about getting your customers?
So a lot of it's we get a ton of referrals because of what I just talked about, right? Because of the way that we interact with the homeowners and the way that what I always say is, like, everyone has to be on the same team before we do anything. Right. So if everyone's not fully invested in this, then if there's any second thoughts or doubts or anything like that, then we're not touching a single thing in the house until everyone's invested. And so we get a lot of referrals. We had a great success. We tried our hand at the Home and Garden Show in Cincinnati this year.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. Kind of jumping into, the community space, where the other options are companies that have been around for a lot longer, companies that have, been well established in our area, kind of like the big names, big players were down there. And then we were on the same playing field as them, which was cool. But that was a good success for us to getting some business during the historically slow season here in Cincinnati.
Sure. Absolutely.
This episode is brought to you by my friend Silas Lagoy over at ForgeMark Wealth. If you're a high-income business owner or professional and feel like you're getting crushed by taxes, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not stuck. ForgeMark Wealth specializes in advanced legal tax strategies and wealth planning designed to help you keep more of what you make, grow it efficiently, and actually build long-term freedom, not just income. If you're making serious money but don't have a real strategy behind it yet, I highly recommend connecting with Silas and his team. What's up, everybody? This episode is sponsored by ExitWise. If you're a business owner thinking about selling your company, whether that's now or years down the road, you need to know what your business is actually worth and how to maximize that exit. That's exactly what ExitWise does. They help you prepare, position, and ultimately sell your business by assembling a world-class team of M&A experts around you, guiding you from valuation all the way through closing. If you want to know what your business is really worth and how to increase that number before you sell, go check out exitwise.com and get ahead of it.
What kind of marketing are you guys doing for marketing?
Marketing. Yeah. So we do, Facebook posts, and that we really don't do a whole lot of marketing. I mean, we have a very minimal marketing budget, if any. We have nice wrap trucks. So, we have, 2 billboards driving around. So that's good.
Yeah.
But as far as like paying for ads or TV commercials or radio spots or anything, we don't do any of that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, it sounds like what you're doing is working pretty well. Wrap trucks, social media posts, trade shows, things like that.
Yeah. The Home and Garden Show was a big surprise for us. I really didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't know, there's a lot of unknowns with it being our first trade show period.
Yeah.
But it's already paid off, and we've already signed up for next year.
Good.
And it really got us out there. And what we saw the most was people coming up to us saying, "Hi, Connell, I've never heard of you guys." Like, yeah, well, we don't really spend money to tell you about us. But we get just a boatload of referrals because of how we interact with the homeowners in their homes.
Have you guys do you guys have the stock shows out there by chance and rodeos?
Stock shows?
Yeah. So here in Denver, they have the Western Stock Show, which is actually one of the biggest in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll go, sell cattle. They have rodeos there. It's just it's basically like the rodeo on steroids.
Because it sounds like a good time.
Yeah, like 2 weeks. And of course you have to buy tickets to it and all that. But a lot of at least here in Denver, so a lot of companies will post up there just because it's so big to that. So I didn't know, like, maybe rodeos could be in the future too, if you guys have those up in where you are. So this could be something that just spawned my idea when you're saying home shows and all that stuff. So
yeah, we have a couple fairs. There's some pretty solid fairs, and like the Ohio State Fair, and I think there's another one down here in Warren County or Butler County Fairgrounds. They got something like that. So
Okay.
might be something good to look into.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Whatever you can do on a minimal budget to get your name out there. But, so
Right.
yeah, moving forward, you guys are going to be doing, a couple 100,000 this year in revenue. Were you looking at doing, next year, 3 to 5 years from now, where you guys are going to go?
Well, we want to grow it organically. We want to grow it with our same commitment to quality, and we want to maintain our customer experience. So for me, I would like to grow the revenue, obviously, but we have to get the people in place to make that an option, so we don't sacrifice what got us here in the first place. So yeah, a couple 100,000 this year, which is going to be good because we're already halfway to what we did last year.
Yeah.
I just got a really good guy on board named Tom, who was actually one of my mentors when I first started doing HVAC. And in the rare instance that I couldn't figure something out myself, Tom is who I would call to help me figure it out. And now Tom's kind of saw what we were doing, and he left his cushy sales job at another company to come get back in the field and get his hands dirty again with me. So I appreciate him. And once he gets rolling and used to the pace of a smaller company, I think we're going to be doing probably double what we did last year, this year already with Tom on board. And then probably double that the year after that and just keep going.
Right. Wow. Good for you. That's actually pretty growth. If you could double, every year
And I did in the beginning. I mean, we had hundreds of % of growth pretty much every year leading up to this.
Yeah.
I had an employee last year who I trained from scratch. I taught him HVAC from zero, and he was just to the point where we could be in two places at once and all that. And something happened at his house where he could no longer perform the HVAC duties, unfortunately.
Too bad.
So that was kind of a hit last year, but with Tom on board, it worked out because Tom's here now. And I think moving forward, when we do need people, teaching HVAC is not going to be the issue. I actually taught HVAC for a year at one of the trade schools here in Cincinnati. So teaching that is not a problem. We just need people who are smart. We need people with heart. We need people who care and want to learn and be a part of the culture that we're trying to cultivate.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that, especially with that much growth that you guys forecast. It's really hiring the right people. Would you say that's kind of a challenge for you guys moving forward, or what are your thoughts around that? Because I feel like every business actually, you just got to find the right person that fits in.
Mm-hmm. And I think it may be, but the conundrum is, do you go out and get a bunch of business and then hire people, or do you go hire a bunch of people, raise your overhead and your payroll, and then go out and get the business?
Yeah.
So that's part of that learning process I talked about with in the beginning, is where the business portion of it and how to manage an efficient operation is something that needs to be. This is where you need your mentors for and people who are smarter than you to help you out.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I would rather have someone smart with heart, that cares and wants to show up and
Sure.
and be a part of the culture, that I can teach them the HVAC portion of it. So we get a lot of people that know some young kids or something like that are kind of questioning what route they want to go. Do they want to go to college? Do they want to get in the trades? So we're listening. We're keeping our ears open.
Mhm.
We'll probably start with some apprentices and kind of teach them until they can turn into leads. And I would rather cultivate somebody than have somebody come in that needs, untrained first before you can train them the way that we do it, because our experience and our execution is a lot different than a lot of other companies.
Right. Right. Yeah, I get it. Switching gears a little bit, how are you guys going about purchasing capital? Like, are you using cash flow from the business? Do you have loans out? Do you have,
No,
credit cards? Do you guys?
no loans, man. I started this from nothing, and I made the biggest bet on myself. I had $500, man. That was all I had, and I put it down on a van because I did it out of a Jeep Grand Cherokee for the first 2 years. Like I said, I had $500 left, and put a bet on myself and went and put that down on a new van. And I said, in 9 months, when this van shows up from the factory, I'm going to have enough to put half down on it, and it's not going to be an issue.
Right.
And in 9 months, when that van showed up, I put 50% down on it, and and now I have two a year. I bought another one a year after that, but again, half down.
Yeah.
We don't have any loans. We don't have any investors. We don't have any outside capital whatsoever. We're doing it kind of best we can with what we got, and trying to make the best decisions that we can. So
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Hey, I hope you
yeah.
saw that Jeep Grand Cherokee, because that's actually what I drive to.
What's that? Yeah, I still have it, dude. I love it. It's my baby, and that was the first thing I bought with HVAC money.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, my actually the interior of mine's all it's a mess. I have a 3.5-year-old and a 3-month-old. There's like
Oh,
crumbs
cool. I have a
everywhere, milk everywhere. Like,
Oh, I know that life, man. I got a boy that turns 3 in May, and my girl just turned 5. So
oh wow,
I got
yeah.
2 car seats back there, probably all kinds of old snacks and juice cups. And dude, I know that life, man.
Oh yeah. I was taking that car seat out and just like shaking it, and all the stuff's like,
Oh, dude, just raining, just
yeah.
crumbs and snacks and who knows what else.
The best I can do is just drive it through the wash and keep the outside clean. At least I can do that.
Yeah. Just tint the windows real good, and they won't see you in
Exactly.
there.
Perfect. Put some sunshade
Yeah.
up, people can't.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
Well, Brandon, really appreciate your time. Thanks for hopping on a call. I know you're a busy guy, so don't want to take up too much
Yeah,
of your
man.
time.
I was looking forward to it. First podcast, first little interview, and it's nice to be, I guess recognized as somebody who is kind of doing something innovative in the industry, because we want to raise the industry up as a whole, and hopefully by doing the right thing every day. With all the private equity and things like that are in the in the space right now, it can be a little a little challenging for homeowners to make an educated decision. So we're hoping that we can provide that for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Where can they find you?
So they can find us at iconcomfort.com is our website. If you want to see our beautiful installs, you can find us on Facebook. It's Icon Heating Cooling, or Instagram is at Icon Comfort.
Okay, perfect. I will, awesome. Well, yeah, Brandon, thanks again for your time. We'll definitely be in touch for sure.
This episode is brought to you by Blue Collar Business Advisors. If you're running an HVAC, plumbing, electrical, or landscaping, or any other type of home service business and wondering where all the money is going despite growing your revenue, you need to talk to Paul Maskill. Paul has scaled and sold multiple blue collar businesses and now helps business owners improve cash flow, profitability, and financial clarity through outsourced CFO services. His clients gain a better understanding of their numbers, build predictable profits, and create a business that supports the life they actually want. One of the things I appreciate most about Paul is he's not just a finance guy. He's been in the trenches as an owner. He understands the challenges of running blue-collar businesses because he's done it himself. If you're doing a few $1 million a year in revenue and want to stop guessing at your numbers and start building real wealth, head over to bluecollaradvisors.com. That's thebluecollaradvisors.com, and schedule a discovery call with Paul and his team. Blue Collar Business Advisors, helping blue-collar business owners build financially healthy companies and achieve permanent profitability. This episode is brought to you by Corberry Digital. If you own an HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, or home service business and you're tired of wondering where your next lead is coming from, you need to check out Corberry Digital. Corberry specializes exclusively in helping home service companies dominate their local markets through SEO, Google Ads, local service ads, websites, content marketing, and lead generation systems that actually produce a measurable ROI. Their team doesn't just focus on clicks and impressions. They help contractors lower customer acquisition costs, increase qualified leads, and build a marketing engine that scales. What I like about Corberry is they understand the blue collar space. They aren't trying to be everything to everyone. Their entire focus is helping trades businesses win in their backyard and generate more profitable jobs. If you're looking to grow your business, improve your online visibility, and build a marketing system that works, visit Corberry.com and schedule a strategy session with their team. That's Corberry.com. Tell them you heard about them on the podcast.
Hey, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Builders Bible Podcast. If you have any questions or if you want to be on an episode, reach out anytime. Alex at kings-coaching.co. Talk to you guys soon.